Attention, Eagles fans. A behind-the-scenes drama almost changed the fate of one of the team's key offensive pillars, causing doubts, uncertainties, and even tension within the roster. Meanwhile, the name of an explosive receiver, known for his big playoff games, has emerged as a possible addition, further stirring speculation about the team's offensive future. What does this mean for next year? The truth may shock those who think the team is already complete. Welcome! Show your support for the Eagles by reaching 100 likes on today's video. Dallas Goedert, the star tight end of the Eagles, went through one of the most challenging moments of his career during the offseason. Known for his skills as a pass catcher and one of the best tight ends in the NFL, Goedert saw his future in Philadelphia threatened by constant trade rumors that left him emotionally shaken. This 2025 season did not start easily for him. Despite his consistent and crucial performance in the team's campaign, the franchise's complicated financial situation, which already carries large contracts on the payroll, led management to consider trading Goedert. This generated a wave of speculation that took over the behind-the-scenes and social media, leaving the athlete in limbo. In an exclusive interview with Essentially Sports, Goedert opened up. "It was the first offseason that I really had to deal with something like this. It was harder than I expected. There were days when I just sat and stared at the TV, wondering what would happen. I talked to GM Howie Roseman and my agent, and even with all that, the future felt uncertain." The tight end revealed the emotional roller coaster he faced. "I was excited to leave, then sad to leave, excited to stay, all of this in a few days. In the end, I was happy we were able to reach an agreement." This statement reveals how much the negotiation affected his mindset and the importance he places on staying in Philadelphia. The contract restructuring allowed Goedert to remain on the roster for the quest for a second championship. The management's decision not to part with such a strategic athlete reinforces how much the team values balance within its offensive unit. The tight end is not only a technical piece but also a silent leader in the locker room. Historically, Goedert has been a cornerstone for the Eagles' offense since taking on a leading role in 2021. His crucial receptions in decisive games, ability to gain yards after the catch, and consistent blocking in the running game make him one of the most well-rounded players in what he does. Keeping him on the team is a clear sign that the franchise understands his importance to the offensive dynamic. Additionally, the tight end's continued presence sends a message to fans and the roster. The team wants to maintain the core that won the Super Bowl and believes this nucleus can take the Eagles even further. Goedert's explicit desire to run it back with the same team reinforces the culture of loyalty the club is trying to build. On the other hand, the tumultuous offseason brought reflections on financial management and roster planning. The pressure to maintain high contracts, combined with the need to renew young talent, creates a delicate scenario. Goedert was not the only name involved in rumors, but he was the most emblematic due to his impact on the field. For fans, this situation generated a mix of apprehension and relief. Many questioned whether keeping a high-salaried athlete would be a risk for the team's flexibility, but the player's response and the front office's decision eased those concerns. The tight end reaffirms his dedication and desire to win more titles with Philadelphia. From this point forward, expectations revolve around what the team can present with Goedert on the field, especially considering the complexity of the NFL schedule and the adjustments the coaching staff will need to make to maintain the rhythm and cohesion of the offense. The uncertainty of the recent past brings an important lesson for the Eagles: the value of commitment and the need to manage both the finances and the psychology of the athletes. Undoubtedly, the episode with Goedert will be a landmark for future decisions within the franchise. The tight end has already shown that, despite the turbulence, he is focused on the next challenge and believes the group has everything it takes to replicate or even surpass the accomplishments of last season. His chemistry with Jalen Hurts and rapport with the receiving corps are aspects that can be further explored. In summary, the retention of Dallas Goedert is a victory both on and off the field. A player who has already proven his worth, faced doubts, and remained steadfast, representing not only his technical ability, but also the spirit of the Eagles in pursuit of glory. If Goedert's stay has calmed part of the fan base, another name has emerged to reignite the debate about the need for reinforcements in the EAAs. The Eagles, known for their explosive offense, face an interesting dilemma this offseason. Even with an impressive arsenal of receivers, Gabe Davis, former Bills and Jaguars player, is being associated with the team as a potential addition for the WR3 position. Davis, at 26 years old, is famous for his ability to make big plays, especially in the playoffs, where he scored an 84-yard touchdown that became legendary in Bills history. However, his last season was hampered by a meniscus injury, limiting his participation to just 10 games and 20 receptions. According to journalist Beth Mishler-Elmore from Heavy.com, Gabe Davis offers potential for explosive plays and a vertical threat that can help stretch defenses and complement the already rich offensive arsenal of the Eagles. She also highlights that Davis could step in directly as the third starting receiver, further strengthening Jalen Hurts' options on offense. Davis's arrival on the roster would be an interesting addition, but it also raises questions about the current composition of the team. Philadelphia already has A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, both receivers who provide consistent vertical threats. Additionally, Dallas Goedert, even as a tight end, is the team's third leading receiver in terms of targets, creating a saturation of talent in that position. The lingering question is, would signing Davis truly bring significant benefits, or would it merely complicate the offensive cohesion? The coaching staff needs to evaluate whether the potential threat of a new player in the position would positively impact the already existing chemistry. On the other hand, having more offensive options has always been a philosophy of the Eagles, who value play diversity and unpredictability. Gabe Davis, with his explosive style, could add more depth to the offense, forcing opposing defenses to stretch to contain multiple threats. Recent history shows that Philadelphia does not hesitate to seek reinforcements when the roster seems complete. The acquisition of Jahan Dotson in 2024, despite seeming unnecessary at first, proved to be a smart move to ensure more options in key moments of the season. However, Davis comes with doubts. His injury last season raised questions about his physical capacity and durability, points that the Eagles' medical staff will need to evaluate thoroughly before any decision is made. Furthermore, Davis's relatively young age brings an appeal for the future. At 26, he still has much to offer and could be a valuable piece for the roster in the coming years if he can fully recover and return to the level he showed with the Bills. Another important point is the cost of the signing. The receiver market is highly competitive, and securing a favorable contract for a player with an injury history can be a challenge for the front office. Philadelphia will have to balance financial investment with potential sports impact. For fans, the idea of having an athlete capable of spectacular plays can be exciting, but it also generates high expectations. The pressure on Davis to perform could be a factor to consider when making a decision. It's worth noting that the role of WR3, traditionally a backup, has been gaining importance in the modern NFL. Teams that have three effective receivers on the field can diversify their offense and keep the quarterback comfortable, something Jalen Hurts certainly values. In summary, the potential signing of Gabe Davis is an open chapter in the construction of the Eagles roster for 2025. If confirmed, it could change the dynamics of the offense and elevate expectations for the team even further. The Eagles' outlook for this season is a mix of stability and possibilities. Retaining Dallas Goedert was crucial for the continuation of the offense, ensuring a solid and experienced foundation. On the other hand, the speculation surrounding Gabe Davis brings the classic question: is it better to strengthen further or maintain the already proven chemistry? In my view, betting on Goedert's retention and seeking young talents like Davis, as long as they fit into the system, is the way for the Eagles to maintain high-level competitiveness. The NFL is a league where small differences define champions, and having versatile options is essential. And you, Eagles fan, do you think the team really needs another explosive receiver? Or is it already perfect as is to compete for the championship again? Leave your opinion in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so you don't miss any exclusive content about the Eagles.